Alright, so basically आज हम बात करेंगे JASP सॉफ्टवेयर की। चलिए आपको वहीं ले चलते हैं जैसा ये सॉफ्टवेयर ओपन करने पे हमें दिखता है। तो ये JASP सॉफ्टवेयर है। ये एक काइंड ऑफ डॉटर प्रोडक्ट है आउट ऑफ आर आर लैंग्वेज। ठीक है, इसका जो बेस है, जो फाउंडेशन है, वो आर लैंग्वेज है। बहुत सुपर पावरफुल सॉफ्टवेयर है, सुपर पावरफुल लैंग्वेज है, कोडिंग प्लेटफॉर्म है आर। और जनरली यूज होता है स्टैटिस्टिकल एनालिसिस के लिए, मशीन लर्निंग एंड ऑल ऑफ दोस प्रोजेक्ट्स, सोशल साइंसेस, इवन इंजीनियरिंग एंड ओके। सो जैस्प ये यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ एम्स्टरडेम ने बनाया है एक ओपन सोर्स प्रोजेक्ट के तहत। एंड we are going to use this one to analyze a number of sample data sets which are already provided by the software and are inbuilt into their system, and we can access them by just clicking over here. So we have these options: recent files, computer, OSF, and the data library. So data library is where all of these sample data sets are situated or are located. So basically, this one, the books, it tells about what are the several types of books that are being used to study the statistics, the how to use SPSS and SPSS like software. So basically, this JASP software, it's kind of an amalgamation of having UI user interface of SPSS and with the coding and the logic grounds of the R. So these two have been combined to make this one, this new software JASP. So basically, we'll not go through these books. Okay, we'll just start with this descriptives section. So we'll click it over here, and then we'll get the two options. The first one is JASP file, and the second one is the data file. So in by clicking this option, the data file, you'll only get the data containing number of variables, having columns, and a number of observations, which is the rows. Okay, so basically we will click it over here, JASP file. So it also contains the analysis based on the same data set. Okay, so we'll just click it over here. So after clicking, you'll get this panel. Okay, that's how it looks. So we'll just click it over here, this arrow, this triangle, or whatever. Just click it over here, and then we can have the access to what the data was there. Okay, so basically there are like three variables: extra, group, ID. So yeah, so this one is continuous variable, so this might be of our interest. And then this is about the groups 1 and 2. Okay, so there are just two groups are available. And then for ID, could be participants ID or whatever, specimens ID, blah blah blah. So it is repeating itself like 1 2 3 4 5 up to 10, and then 1 2 3 4 5 up to 10. So maybe the same ID is performing the two different experiments, at two different time. Yeah, ideally that should be okay. So basically, let's move on to the same panel, this one. Okay, so this left panel, it shows the data, the variables, and we'll have to move it from like over here to here. Okay, so these are actually, this section contains all of the variables that you have. That could be nominal, could be logical, could be continuous variables and all. Okay, categorical or something like that. Okay, so but over here this is just used for splitting. I mean, how you are going to divide your variables on which ground. So over here there are just one variable is over here in terms of talking about the grouping or categorizing or something like that. Okay, so over here this is just grouping. On the grounds of this group, the extras will be divided. Okay, so let's read it out. What is this data set about? So basically this data set, it's called sleep, and it's kind of a popular data set, and it contains the number of additional hours. Okay, number of additional hours that in total 10 patients have experienced after being administered by the two soporific drugs, that is the sleeping pills. So basically the 10 patients were given two different types of drugs at two different times. Okay, just to observe whether they are sleeping an excess amount of hours than their conventional uh, hours of sleeping. Okay, so basically there are like three variables, or we can also talk in Hindi. So basically this sleep variable, sleep जिस जिस डेटा सेट की बात हो रही है स्लीप की, इसमें 10 पेशेंट्स की बात हुई है और ये 10 पेशेंट्स को दो अलग अलग तरह के ड्रग्स दिए गए, स्लीपिंग पिल्स दिए गए, और ये ऑब्जर्व करने के लिए कि आखिर वो कैसा रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं, कैसा रिस्पॉन्स दे रहे हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ नंबर ऑफ sleeping hours. Okay, so extra, this variable extra, it says the increase in the number of hours sleeping relative to a control condition or control drug condition. Okay, so and then the second variable, it is about the group. So basically it's just telling you the type of a soporific drug, whether it is of first type or second type, because over here in that data set we just have the two types of groups. Okay, so over here there's all of these are the one type, and then these all are the second type. So in total there are total observations 20. So 20 observations are there, and 10 and 10 divided among the first group and the second group, or we can say first drug and the second drug. So let's move on to the another panel, that is descriptive statistics. Since we are only talking about the descriptive statistical analysis in this video, so we'll just look into what it these this data set says about their basic descriptive statistics and all. Okay, so yeah, so descriptive statistics, we are having over here the table, and it just says few of the parameters like the how many observations are valid, and how many are missing and all. Okay, and then it talks about some of the inferences, some of the basic inferences, central tendency like the mean. It could be median, it could be mode, or both, or all of these three. And then there is just deviation, uh, parameters of deviation, could be variance, could be standard error, or something like that. Okay, so and then we also have the ultimatas, extremas, or whatever, uh, extremums. Yeah, so basically minimum or maximum. So with this data set, we can just, if you just like to discuss what this data says in terms of inferences, how we can conclude with this data, what we are concluding with this data. Okay, so from this table we can say that there were like the two types of drugs, first and second, and the valid, or we can say the number of participants were 10 for each of those things, and then the missing was 0 because none of the participants have ignored or denied to give their results, give their tests. And then the mean, it says what is the number of hours, mean average hours, which are in excess to the conventional number of hours that they are that these participants are experiencing or sleeping. Okay, so basically this, after consuming this first drug, the participants observe an increment of 0.75 hours in their you know normal sleeping schedule, and then after consuming second drug they have observed a whopping 2.33 hours in access to their conventional sleeping hours. Okay, so basically the second drug is performing very well in terms of access, in terms of extra sleeping hours, and then standard deviations are over here. They are almost competitive, not pretty much difference margin. And if we just look into the extremums like maxima, so maxima, the second drug consumers have experienced as much as 5.5 hours of extra sleep, and in terms of first drug, they have experienced only 3.7. And if we just go with what was the there could be discrepancies, there could be limitations with those drugs as well. So few people of them have experienced uh, you know as low as minus 1.6 hours of sleep, less than the conventional sleeping hours. So there could be someone who have experienced you know, 1.6 hours less than their conventional sleep. And after consuming drug 2, there were not pretty much difference because it's just minus zero point 0.1 and it would be high. Okay, so basically the second drug is performing very well over here. If you would just like to see it, visualize it by using the box plots, we have this here. So these are two groups, you know, divided among and acquired the sleep this variable extras. Okay, these are the number of hours in access to their basic normal sleeping hours, and it can say that yeah, this one has more, you know, comparatively is more towards the uh, top side, you know. Yeah, so it says that the drug 2 people, the participants, they have experienced more number of sleeping hours than the first one, and the more distribution are concentrated for the second drug is at around 1 or between 1 and 2, but for the first drug the, the major concentration was around 0 because they have not experienced much of the, you know, access, much of the, you know, sleeping hour in excess. Okay, so they are not experiencing much of the I mean good outcome out of those drugs, but the second drug participants have observed something at least. And then there's another bump as well, and also over here there's another bump, and these lines they show the quartile ranges, quartiles. So this is 25 quartile, then this is this could be, you know, 50 quartile, and then 75, and then whatever 90, 95. So yeah, this is the box, and this is the central line. It says the median as well, and over here again, this is the box, and this is the central line. That is the median or 50 percentile, 50 percentile, and then over here there's these are the whiskers. They show the extreme ups. Okay, could be 95% or something like that. Yeah, 95 percentile, 95 percentile or something. Okay, and it is reaching up to around over here. It can reach up to over here. So we'll not discuss how to interpret these box plots over here, but just we're interested in knowing how this JASP software works in terms of getting the descriptive statistical analysis out of the given data set. Okay, so that's it. That's it. And yeah, we'll move to the another section which can be accessed by clicking open data library, and we have already worked with the descriptives, and then we'll move to the other sections as well in the next video. Okay, thank you so much.